Howdy, Cary Nosler here, health and longevity researcher for Enhanced Athletes, and today we're going to talk about some of your eating habits and whether or not that's having an effect on your body composition. So I'm going to ask you to consider a few things here. Are you a fast eater, a slow eater, or what you might consider just the right speed type of eater? Well, and the way you figure this out, I've been to dinner with folks and, they bring the meal and you start to eat and you look up and your buddy's already finished eating. Well, obviously that person is a pretty quick eater. And when that happens and you are a fast eater, what you may observed is that if you are the first to finish your meal, chances are you might not be as lean as you want to be and maybe even have trouble putting on muscle. You may even find that you don't feel as well as you would like to. Now, I realize there are exceptions to every rule, and you're probably saying, hey, I eat really fast, I have no problems, I'm very lean. Good. Well, let's just explore this issue and see why that strategy might not be what you want in the long term. An epidemiological study, this is one where they observe people's habits, whether it's eating, sleeping, or whatever it happens to be. This was done by researchers who observed that fast eaters were twice as likely to have type 2 diabetes, which is kind of interesting. Based on this observation and what we know about insulin, well, eating speed clearly has a lot to do with how insulin does its job. And you know how important insulin is in every aspect of your life. Working out and gaining muscle and losing fat all depends on your ability to maintain what they call insulin sensitivity. And we'll kind of go into that as we go along as well. But if this insulin secretion is hampered, as when you eat fast, several things can happen. Nutrients don't get transported to your muscles as efficiently as they do to fat. It also means that you probably don't absorb nutrients that well. And based on this observation and what we know about insulin, eating speed has a lot to do with how well it does its job. And again, back to this whole issue of how things are absorbed, the whole process of digestion is gradually breaking down the food in the mouth and having it acted on as it moves through the digestive process. But if it's too big at any one point, then it attracts too much of the so-called bad bacteria, and you can have other kinds of gastrointestinal repercussions. We're not like a tiger that can take a big hunk of meat and just swallow it and then lie down and rest for 5 hours. Our body isn't like that. So the mechanical process of digestion will determine how much of the nutrients in the food that you absorb. Eat it too fast, don't chew it properly, you're missing out on the very things that you're trying to get out of the food that you eat. Researchers submitted questions. They looked at 700 and some people. A couple of hundred of them had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It turned out that fast eaters were more than twice as likely to have type 2 diabetes as slow eaters. And again, this is just one study and nothing is going to prove or disprove the idea. And again, based on your own experience, maybe that just doesn't seem to be relevant into your life. But again, eating quickly, insulin is not going to get its job done correctly. The whole mechanism of digestion is disturbed. As we mentioned, nutrients will not get fully absorbed. Macronutrients can end up getting stored as fat rather than being used to build muscle. So why waste all the time and effort that you're putting in to eat right and exercise right if you're not going to get the benefit of all the things that happen as a result of that? Other studies have shown that if you eat slowly, you end up eating less. And that ultimately means less body fat as well. And the reason you eat less is because, again, body has a signal. If it's logically filling up, then it sends a signal back to the brain that you've had enough. Or if you've been getting the nutrients that you need, the body says, okay, we don't need to eat anymore. So again, slow down, get more out of what you eat. If you slow down, the different techniques, some people like to put the spoon or fork down in between bites now and then. I don't care, whatever you do. One thing that I would caution, however, besides eating slow, do not drink a lot of liquids with your meals. You do that, you dilute the stomach acids, the body just can't digest it no matter how slowly you're eating. I'm Cary Nosler, health and longevity researcher for Enhanced Athlete.
Yeah, hundreds on my bed, sexing with the bill. Roses in my wallet and I'm flexing it for real. Racks on racks on racks, I look like rookie of the year. Frontin' with the cash, it's getting moody over here. Hundreds on my bed, sexing with the bill. Roses in my wallet and I'm flexing